Hi everybody, sanibonani. Welcome to my channel. Igama lami Mdletshe, and on this channel siyasibuke ama reality shows ethu ala eMzansi bese siza la sokhuluma ngawo lama shows. Siyaphinda ke futhi sikhulume ngama celebrities kanye nama YouTubers ethu ala eMzansi. If it is your first time joining me today and you really like my content, do not forget to press the subscribe button la ngezansi and a notification bell so that you can get notifications uma umsebenzi omusha sengiwufakile. And you guys, there is also a join button la ngezansi if you want to join as a member. So today, you guys, we're going to do the full review of Isencane Lengane Season 5 Episode 8. You guys, we are moving towards the end of the season. Remember last episode we did get the DNA results. Ntando Temkosi is the father. We also did see Ntando finally take Ntando to Mthandazi, which Mthandazi confirmed ukuthi Ntando wadliswa. And then in this episode, they are back. Olundi, Usiyacela benoThando, and Ntando is just doing normal chores, hanging and washing in the washing line. Go back at the washer, I guess. Usiyacela comes to talk to her. I don't know, guys, how Ntando deals with Usiyacela. Uyadelela lo muntu lowana, and he never really speaks sense, and he's always on Thando's face with nonsense. So I don't know how Ntando. I guess Ntando muntu, you guys, you can survive anything. So they're having a conversation because Usiyacela says that he's going to go to Joburg to do or pursue his dream of being a DJ. There is some practicals in Joburg that he needs to attend. And yeah, you guys. Now, Ntando seems to be aware that Usiyacela wants to be a DJ. Apparently, he has even DJ'd before. I'm like, yo, hayi engabe kwakwenze njani kuleyo party. Kwakwenzakala kuleyo party. Usiyacela DJing. Hey. But yeah, you guys, it's great to see them try to do something with their lives, because at some point the show will end. You know, the show is not going to run forever and ever and ever. There will be a time where there will be no interest in the show from the people, and if people are no longer watching the show, it might end. So they need to start thinking about what they're going to do to make a living. So it is a good idea for Usiyacela to do something. I don't know why he needs to go all the way to Joburg to learn about DJing. Okay, fine. Also, at the beginning of this episode, the first scene, when they talk about Joburg, Usiyacela talks about wanting to go and do practicals for DJing, but later on Ntando mentions Usiyacela is going to Joburg to fetch the car. So I was like, which one is it? Is it going to Joburg to fetch the car, whom they don't explain, which they don't explain what car, or is it going to Joburg to do the DJing thing? Anyway, you guys, I don't know. I'm still gonna get clarity. Maybe in the next episode we'll get some clarity on what's happening. Maybe they bought a car in Joburg and then he thought he's gonna go and do the DJ thing in Joburg and then come back with a car. I don't know, guys. Now, Ntando sees this as an opportunity to tell Usiyacela ukuthi, what, Nami, I want to go home. I want to go back to go to Nkandla to visit. Okay. Now, my say to Nkandla, Usiyacela is like, no, you can't go home. Uyokwenzani ekhaya? Is like, no, I'm just going to visit. Angithi now you won't be here, so I'm going to go back home go visit. And then Usiyacela is like, no. Then if you go home Nkandla, then your family must bring back one of those cows esakulobola ngazo. Those cows ezazacile, guys. You remember how skinny those cows were? I'm sure those cows have passed away. They have met with the Lord, because zazizacile leza inkomo leziyana. So and bekwa mankonyane nje futhi lawa ya mhlawumbe sekhulile kangazi, he says, good to know, if you go home, your family can't keep you and keeping Komo. So, they have to bring back one of the cows if you are going back home. And then Ntando is like, but you're not going to be here. Uthando in the diary section, she explains because you know what, she wants to go home because obviously after they went and saw Mthandazi, there is a treatment that she needs to take. Obviously, if she goes with that treatment to Olundi, Usacela is going to have questions. What is this now? What are you using? And all of that. So, Fanega 70 wash was Mthandazi. She can't use it Olundi, so she wants to visit her mom so that she can use a wash. So, I'm guessing Tando with that, it means she really believes in Udlesiwe. And then she starts talking about how she wants to also be an actress and all of that. You guys, anything that will make these kids do something with their lives, I will support. I don't know if Tando really wants to be an actress or she's just saying it because Usacela now is saying she just wanted to say something. But I would love to see Tando do something with her life. Of course, you guys, there are many actresses or actors that are successful and they do not have matric. But at the same time, for an example, I watched recently the interview with Kenneth Nkosi on King David podcast, and he was talking about how when he was doing his matric at a certain point, he really didn't want to go to school because school was just not for him. He wanted to do arts, he wanted to act, and so he dropped out. The following year, his parents found him in a school where he could do acting. Okay, but he does say obviously Kenneth Nkosi is a very successful actor and producer, I believe, and so for him it has worked. But he does say something, you guys. He says there's so many things that he wanted to do, like study further and all of that, that he couldn't do because of he didn't have matric, and he feels like he wishes that he would have studied that 1 year, he would have completed and got his matric, because he feels like he was brilliant at school and he would have passed if he just did it. He was just feeling like he's out of place at school and he was bored. That's why he dropped out. So when we hear it from people that have gone through it, it seems like it is a good idea to actually go back to school if you can, and get your grade 12, because it doesn't, and also the fact that for other people it works, that they are successful without getting the grade 12 or matric, it doesn't mean that it will happen for you. So what I'm saying here is that we don't know with Ntando if it's going to be one of those cases where she's able to make it as an actress without the matric, or it's going to be it's going to hinder her from doing certain things. I just would love to see her go back to school and get her matric certificate and then pursue whatever else that she needs to pursue, because she could even go to Versus and study arts and what do they call it, drama, and and prepare herself and train herself professionally to be the actress that she wants to be. And also now she's got some following, people know her now. It seems like in these drama series, they like to hire people that are known, because they want to attract the viewers that know that particular person. So sometimes we feel like a person doesn't really get a job because they are good. They get a job sometimes because they have a following. So maybe it could work for her. I just want to see Ntando do something, okay? And okay, now you guys, the next scene is, remember Ubaba Dlamuka passed away last year. I actually was surprised because has it been a year since Ubaba Dlamuka passed away? And it seemed like it has been, because I think Uhlanjululwa after a year, I think people that know me will correct me in the comment section. We are Hlanjululwa, and they are sort of dividing or splitting izinto zikaBaba Dlamuka between the wives. Ubaba Dlamuka has had 5 wives. I think there's 4 that, is it 4? 4 that are living, and then there is Umaga Siyacela. So today they were splitting ama blankets, and he had a lot of blankets. I don't know why. And so they were splitting them equally between the wives, and they called Ntando as to represent Umaga Siyacela. So they split them equally. Ntando was just trying to find out, okay, so mina are they mine ngizimbathi? Now they're saying no, ngazimbathi zizombathwa yithi masivakashile. So I'm like, so why are you giving them to me? But anyway, yes, they said because it's gama mezala kufaneka zimbathi. So that's what they were doing, you guys. I was surprised because I thought ukuthi uBaba Dlamuka, the youngest wife, was uMashange, whom I was even surprised with her. How did uBaba Dlamuka get to Mashange? I guess uBaba Dlamuka, thina simbone esegugile njena eseqoka labo, leya tracksuit green ne-shirt no-phaqa, maybe, bedlisa, bewubhuti Madlisa a few years back, because I was like, how did he get Mashange? But he has another wife that is even younger than Umashange. Okay, fine. So kuhlukaniswe, the people that were doing the splitting of, impahla was Ogogo. They said those are two grandmothers. I thought the Dlamuka family is very lucky to still have Labo Gogo Labayana. So they were just trying to be fair in making sure that they split things equally between all of the wives, okay? Now they do talk about indaba yokuthi Ubab Dlamuka, before he passed, he had called, a couple of the family members. He will tell them, okay, you will be getting this car, you will get whatever, inkomo lezi ziyakubani, in. So he had those conversations. So people know how he split things, okay? But it doesn't necessarily mean that people are happy with how things were done. I mean, they do say one of his sons who is working, he said no, that son is not getting anything because we are sebenza. So I don't think that he split equally between everybody. It was based on a person's needs, okay? Now there's cars that you don't know whether are drivable or not, or are they broken cars, or in motor that are working. I don't know, you guys, but whom some of them he's given to some of the wives, okay? I don't know if those wives know what they're gonna do with those cars, but they got the cars, okay? So now, you guys, later on, I guess there's an uncle that is always comes who used to say Ubab Dlamuka usbarwake, and bathi nomalumunene, okay? And he wanted a meeting with all of the wives, and also the Dlamuka's brother, whom we were seeing him for the first time, and also there was Umdu, the son, and then there is Usacela, who comes at the beginning of the meeting. He leaves later on. So he wanted to find out, okay, Ubab Dlamuka passed. I heard kuhlanjululiwe ngingekho, what happened, how did you do it? He's just finding out, you guys. I think that uncle is the one that Ubab Dlamuka used to talk to a lot. So he had an idea of Ubab Dlamuka, how things are supposed to be done, how Ubab Dlamuka wanted things done. So he wanted to find out, okay, did you guys do things the way that Ubab Dlamuka would want it? So he's asking, okay, yes, I heard you split things, but did you give impahla, and I feel like in that meeting uSiyacela came to fight, because I think Ntando had not explained to him now she did get the blankets, but it's just that they said she mustn't use the blankets because it's the mother-in-law's blankets. So then so they're asking did you guys think about Siyacela? And the wives are like, yeah, Ntando even came here, she was giving them blankets, but she was asked to leave them in Dlamuka because obviously zizolala ma visit, okay? And Uneneke seems to think no, the blankets should have been given to Ntando because it's Siyacela and whatever. And Siyacela was fighting that thing yokuthi azange baze bawathola ama blankets because azange ezendlini yabo, but that thing is resolved very easily when he says, okay, it's supposed to go to them. They don't argue with the wives, okay? Now Umdu has a complaint. Umdu, who is Dlamuka's son, the son that seemed to be like a black sheep of the family, because previously Ubab Dlamuka always had complaints about Umdu, saying that uphuza kakhulu and all of that. Umdu says there was a day right before Ubab passed where Ubab asked him to check his balance on the phone, bank balance. He checks the balance, it's over 200,000 in the bank, okay? At first, I was like, Ubab Dlamuka had 200,000, but Ubab Dlamuka seemed like he did have money, you guys. And also the fact that he had the show, I believed when they were paying them initially, when the show started, they would pay Ubab Dlamuka because he was almost like a main cast member on the show, and then he would have to pay the other two, which is Usiyacela and Ntando. So money from the show at some point, I believe that it did go to him. So even that, maybe it contributed to him having that amount of money. So he says he checked and the balance was 200,000, but they were surprised that right after he passed, there was no money in the bank for Mdletshe. Okay, they need to check with the banks though, because sometimes people would leave money in the bank and you don't know, maybe they have savings and you don't know. They need to go and check with the banks if there is any money that is left there. Now he says go to Bano. Now everybody is like, listen, into imali has already been spoken about. Nobody knows ukuthi imali yenzekani. So what are they gonna do now? Because they don't know ukuthi imali yashonapi. And also uBaba Dlamuka was somebody that would give his bank card to anybody to go and withdraw money. Whenever he needed money to be withdrawn, he will give it to anybody egcekeni angamthuma. So it can be anybody who took the money. Number one, everybody else don't know about the 200,000 because they never saw the 200,000. They only know from Mdletshe is the one that is telling them. So Abbas Bongosi, there was ever 200,000, but they're saying even if there was, anything could have happened to it because uBaba Dlamuka was not that careful when it came to his bank account. Do I think that there was a 200,000? I feel like it's possible. Do I feel like somebody took that 200,000? Yes, it's possible because umndeni Dlamuka is a big family. There is a lot of people, even a lot of people that we haven't met. So maybe somebody did go to the bank and made a withdrawal. And Umdu is upset by the fact that ubabake, when he died, it was like umuntu faneka donated when ubabake had his own money when he was living. They don't know what happened, but everybody agrees at this point it doesn't help to talk about the money because they don't know where the money is. Now you guys, I don't know where this came in. It really was really funny for me because the younger wife starts talking about how Dlamuka's brother has mentioned that they ufaneke abangene bona bafuna ukungenwa uyena, which was so random, you guys, because I was like, the fact that you are talking about ukungenwa umfowabo kaDlamuka for me was suspicious ukuthi does she want him? Lapho ulokhuzana lapho Dlamuka's wife is missing front teeth. He's not the handsomest. If you show the dot, at least you will look which one is the cuter brother. Now, okay, so they are complaining that sometimes he says certain things as if ufuna ukubangena. In the diary session, the uncle says, listen, that is not going to happen. I'm not interested in them. Lapo, he's so old. It's like, But like in our families, in our big families, we have these uncles that grow old. And because it's Semaka, sometimes you're like, hey, maybe uncle is in the alphabet society, But you couldn't remember to live that life, especially the older generation. I remember that I had a grandfather. It's like our grandfather. There was a grandfather that was his brother. I remember that grandfather. I remember just thinking, umkhulubani ngathi. And also with the uncles, the relatives in my mother's side, there is an uncle that was like, this one, but in that generation, I guess it was very difficult to just, so you never know. Uncle and he's not interested. He says, number one, the older wife, Dlamuka, now they take him as a mother in the home, so there's no way that he can get her. And then the others, it just says thank you but no thanks. Thank you but no thanks. So now bakhuluma ngendaba ukuthi bazokhulumula inzila, guys. The clothes that they're wearing, they're supposed to take them out soon, and when that happens, I believe the family is supposed to buy you clothes that you are going to wear after you take out inzila. So they're talking about that. Umalume or ubaba omncane is supposed to buy them those clothes that they're supposed to wear. I don't think ubaba omncane, but Unene and I did say he needs to step up because he's the one that is supposed to take that responsibility. Mabe khumula fanele bathengelwe lezo ingubo lezo. And yeah, you guys, but the thirst kuma khosikazi, I was like, hey, Baba Dlamuka is turning in the grave because hey, the younger wife the The other wife shame ungidabukisile when she said, when they were talking about splitting izinto zababdlamuka, when she said ukuthi yena she doesn't really care ukuthi izinto ziyakuphi as long as they go where ubabdlamuka wanted them to go. But the thing that she's the most sad about, she's one wife that ubabdlamuka never built a house for, so she doesn't have indlu. I thought that was sad. I thought that was sad, you guys, that never happened, you know. And yeah, and ke kadlamuka ngathi nje, it's that family where you are on your own, you know. They only come together for the things ezibafosayo to come together, like the fact that kuzokhunyulwa inzila bekuhlanjululwa and all of that. But other than that, everybody's on their own. Esithenjini ke guys, it can't be like that. The real same. Everybody is on their own. Anyway, you guys, that was the episode for today. It was nice to just watch some relaxed scenes from Ulundi. I thought that scene that they had with the four wives and the uncles and all of that, it was funny. And there was some laughter there, so I enjoyed this episode. I really did. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much. Oh yes, by the way, Usacela left halfway through the meeting because he had to rush and go to Joburg. Yeah. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Please like it before Pumegiona, share it with your friends, with your family, and even with strangers. Ntando.